Patriots are getting ready to take on the Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday, and that means a lot of Justin Herbert talk, so we're just going to continue it. I'm Mariah, Janos, joined by Evan Lazar. Evan, Herbert he's completing around 67% of his passes for 3,015 yards, 23 touchdowns, just 7 interceptions in 10 games despite a 2-8 start. He's really been on fire. Now, you had mentioned before we started taping this that he kind of fell into the Chargers' lap when it came to the draft. Do you think it's paramount that the Patriots kind of follow the Chargers', I guess, footsteps in this coming draft and taking a quarterback early like Herbert?
Well, I think it's tough because, I can give you we can go either way with this example. We can talk about Justin Herbert, or we could talk about Sam Darnold, or we could talk about Blaine Gabbert, or we could talk about DeMarcus Russell, or you know what I mean? Like, there's so much history at the quarterback position of busts in that range of the draft. And I think the thing with Herbert that maybe separated him from others that are kind of in that similar ilk of a bust is that he had the experience in college. This is a guy that was a 4-year starter at Oregon, and it shows in the pros how pro-ready and just how comfortable he looks on a football field is because of all that experience that he got in college. So I think you can go either way with it. Personally, for me, I am not in any rush to trade a bunch of picks to get up in the top 10 or make a big splash move to try to get after one of those quarterbacks at the top of the draft, because I really do think it's a volatile position to risk it all on. You could get lucky and get a Patrick Mahomes, or you could get a Mitchell Trubisky, right? So I think the best course of action is to do exactly what the Chargers did, which is just stay pat, stay where you're at. They didn't jump over Miami because they knew that Miami was going to take Tua, and they just kind of let Justin Herbert fall in their laps. And although Tua, I think, is still going to be a good pro quarterback, I think there is a conversation to be had after the end of this year. Did the Dolphins make the right decision of drafting Tua over Justin Herbert? It looks like Herbert's going to be a long-time starter in LA. So I think that you have to it's all about value. I know that's such a Bill Belichick answer, but it's all about, kind of risk reward. Is this guy such a surefire thing to you that you feel comfortable, whether it's trading up for a guy or taking a guy if the Patriots end up picking 10, 11, something like that, make sure he's not a Dwayne Haskins, right? You got to make sure that you have a guy that is going to be worth it at that pick, and you can't just make it just because he's a quarterback.
Absolutely. Patriots Press Pass is brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code PressPass20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using the code PressPass20. Take the leap and join the Manscaped movement today. Now, sticking with rookie quarterbacks, where do you rank Herbert in comparison to the other rookies from his draft class?
Well, I think the main thing that stands out to me, and we just saw Kyler Murray here last week with the Patriots, and he's a second-year quarterback, obviously, but some of those cover zero blitzes the Patriots sent to Kyler Murray, some of the different coverages that they played against him confused him, and rattled him a little bit in that game. And I just don't see that from Herbert. And I think that's a really impressive trait for a young QB, to be poised, accurate under pressure. And you look at his stats and you see across the board, whether you blitz him or you don't blitz him, or he's under pressure or not under pressure, he is a steady line of just consistent play no matter what the situation is around him. Now, it definitely helps that he's throwing to Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and Hunter Henry and a really good group of weapons. But I think that is a great example, too, of this whole quarterback conversation with the Patriots, is Herbert is playing so well so quickly. A lot of the reason why is because he is surrounded by great pass-catching talent. You throw a rookie quarterback into this Patriots offense and he's throwing to Damiere Byrd and Jacoby Myers and Ryan Izzo, then it's probably going to look like a Mitchell Trubisky situation and not a Justin Herbert in LA situation. So for me, it's always about surrounding the quarterback with the most talent as possible around him and putting him in the most comfortable situation that you possibly can. Because if you just throw a QB into a situation where you don't have those skill players around them, it's often detrimental to their development and just doesn't really matter how talented they are at that point if they have nobody to throw to.
In complete agreement with you there. For all of our Patriots coverage, head to clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel over at Patriots Press Pass.